So we're just about to walk through to the downtown east side, and many people would say this is the heart of BC's drug crisis. It's one of the poorest neighborhoods in the country, and I don't want to add to the stigma of this community in the sense that we're coming down here to talk to them about the drug crisis, because there's so much more going on here. It really is a community, but they have been overwhelmingly affected by the number of people who've died from drug deaths, and so I want to hear from folks about what they think about this new law. So let's go down and have a chat. You think this law right now, it's like 2.5 grams, that's legal. Do you think that'll help?
Honestly, I do think it's going to help. I've noticed ever since the decriminalization of it, like society as a whole has sort of looked at it less harmful in a way. Like the fact that we have open insights in places like that, I think that society actually prefers us to have these places so that it's not on their doorstep. You know what I mean? They'd rather try to blow. If it's not in their neighborhood, they don't need to worry about it. You know what I mean?
Do you know what 2.5 gram looks like? Like how much would that be?
Okay, hold on. Okay.
So what is that?
That's fentanyl. Quite a bit of benzos in there, maybe, I imagine.
And then you take 4 of these.
So 2.5 grams is 5 of these little bags?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. How long would that last?
Yeah,
How long would that
Not
last?
even.
Yeah.
Probably.
Usually lasts about 4 to 6 hours, maybe.
Depends on how much you do. That would last. Probably half a day.
Half a day?
We're from CBC. We're here just talking today about the drug decriminalization law. Did you guys hear? So like 2.5 grams is legal now?
I think it's enough for the day.
I heard half a day.
Yeah, it's good for a day.
Yeah.
It should be an ounce. Anything under an ounce, if you're a drug dealer, you're like in any serious capacity, they want to regulate. If it's under an ounce, I think that's reasonable. But yeah, like a couple of grams would be like a day's supply. But sometimes you get your check and people are going to buy a little bit more than a day's supply. But it doesn't mean that you're anything other than a small time user, as far as I'm concerned. It's a tokenistic gesture, but it's good. I mean, I'm not criticizing it, but I think a reasonable amount is under an ounce. Yeah.
So do you think that it helps remove some of the stigma around drug using?
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, is this like a national policy it's going to be?
No,
or?
it's just in BC. It's a pilot program for 3 years.
I mean, there already isn't really much stigma in BC. I mean, I moved from Ontario because of that, but certainly around here there isn't.
Alberta's a lot different than here. In Alberta, you'd be going to jail with that.
But I mean, they're
And this
federal laws,
community is
so
very
how would
different.
it would be like a provincial
Yeah, they've got an exemption from the feds.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it's a step in the right direction. What they need to do is actually provide clean dope to people. It's they could make a pile of money off of it, and they could save a lot of lives. Like right now, part of the problem is that the people that are making it don't have the proper tools. They have all these resources around here for using it, but people still die because it's not. There's a social stigma about helping drug dealers, right? But what you really need to do is provide proper equipment for the drug dealers that are mixing it all up.
So you're talking about even safe supply, though,
Well, I mean, not really, because when you talk safe supply, they'll say, okay, well, we'll give them, some pharmaceutical version of it. But they really want fentanyl. I mean, they want a certain type.
They want the buzz that they get from it, right? And they'll never get it from the government.
All these they give them dillies and everything. Every single person that has a dilly prescription comes down here and sells them so that they can go buy heroin. Every single one of them, every single one. So it's if anything, it provides a whole lot of money to pharmaceutical companies that are not actually helping people, and they like to talk about their good talking points. But at the end of the day, all that stuff just gets sold, and the people go buy heroin, or it's not even heroin anymore, but fentanyl. And the guys that are cooking up the fentanyl, they're nodding off and they're doing it on a bench in the dark, and they don't have the proper tools, and it's cold, so it doesn't get properly mixed, and then you get hot spots. So you'll get one hoot'll kill you and another one won't do anything, and so that's the problem. And people will be like, oh, the last 5 I bought, it didn't do anything. And so but then the next one they do kills them. And
so this policy, good in some sense,
right, but it's not going to do anything to the deaths. No, not at all. And what they really need to do is either provide the drugs that people want, that properly prepared in a clean environment, and that's what would drive the death rate down. And if it's provided in in a supervised environment, then you're only going to be doing small quantities anyway. So you don't really go to jail down here. Not on this part. I mean, maybe the rest of the province, maybe I don't know, but definitely not in downtown Vancouver. I mean, you can have an oounce in your pocket.
I think it was interesting. You said that like that was part of the reason why you decided to come to Vancouver.
Well, not for the drugs so much. Like I had outstanding warrants in Ontario, and a lot of people in Ontario, when they start running from the law, they come to Vancouver because they know that the police here won't.
Was it drug law? Was it drug?
I mean, some of them were drug possession, but they were all drug related. I mean, I started using drugs in Ontario, and I got involved in just doing stupid shit for drug money, and didn't like going to jail, so I hopped on a plane and came out here, and it's been great. I've never had. Yeah, I did. I got clean out here, and I mean, I was living on the street and doing dope for the first couple of years, but then I got a job, and I've been 6 years clean now. So,
hey, congrats,
but
man.
I still know a lot of people like this guy. He's a drug dealer. He is, but we won't put
If
him
you
on the
only have
spot.
2.5 grams, it's legal. Don't worry.
2.5 grams of pure fent.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I feel like if policymakers, if they just come down here and just openly talk to people about what they need, what helps them.
Well, I feel like a lot of this stuff we know, right? I think people know that this isn't necessarily going to kill drug deaths. We've heard the conversations with the Minister of Addictions.
Yeah.
Asked point blank, do you think this is going to stop drug deaths? She couldn't answer yes or no, because I think it's kind of clear from talking to the people down here, this isn't necessarily going to be the change, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a step towards the right direction, but not necessarily what they were looking for, and not necessarily going to make an impact on.
Well, I think it'll bring down, the crime rates, which will be a good thing. But also, as folks have told us here, people weren't really getting put away for crime, right?
Yeah.
So
we heard
it's
the
not a
one
big
guy
deal
on the
down
bench
here.
saying I smoke crack in front of police, and I've done it for years, and they don't do anything, right?
Yeah.
So this change doesn't impact him at all.
There might be other parts of the province that it could make a difference too, but that destigmatization for sure. So it's not necessarily maybe hardcore users. I think maybe it's the light users who feel like they can't ask for help. Maybe that's the difference. Cool. Yeah, let's go. Okay. What did you think of that policy?
I think it's
Good thing, bad thing?
I think it's a good thing because a lot of people need it for pain, for pain management. Like myself, I got hooked from St. Paul's Hospital, got me hooked and threw me into homelessness. I had never hung out in East Van before. This all happened. This was 3 years ago, and I'm not a criminal. I don't have a criminal record, so I don't want to. Something bad to happen. I have this on me, and then something hits my medicine. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I smoke pot and I take fentanyl.
Yeah.
I also get my medications from my doctor that I get prescribed to me, but it's not quite enough once I had that fentanyl in my system. Not by choice. I would never ever in my life would be like, oh, I just want to go get high on heroin or fentanyl or whatever. I just thought it was all the same. 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I'd never seen anyone do heroin or fentanyl in my life. So it was.
What were you doing before this?
Worked in the golf industry, played a lot of sports. I figure skated competitively for 11 years. Volleyball, baseball.
If I Google you, would I find you figure skating?
Oh, this was years ago. This was I started when I was 5 and I quit when I was 15 or 16 it was. But I would still be doing all those things to this day. I think I can probably golf next year because I only need to stand in one spot, right? So
What brought you into hospital?
I was hit by an e-bike. I was just walking in the grocery store and I was hit, and I had to smash my chin up and hyperextended my arm and had a hole in my leg right here. Whoops. And
So they had you on painkillers.
yeah, major. Yeah, they had me on IV fentanyl, and I just had a hard time stopping because I'm in pain and I'm homeless, and my now ex-boyfriend and I have been struggling for the last 3 years trying to get out of this.
So do you think the law today is going to help you? Is being able to carry that 2.5 grams going to help somebody like you?
It's the cost of it. I think if they need to have something, especially I'm not hooked on benzos. Benzos scare the crap out of me. I tried them once. I didn't even know I was taking benzos, and I ended up getting addicted to them. So as soon as I knew what was wrong, I just made sure I bought from somebody who didn't sell benzos and in their dope. And I bought a clonazepam on the corner, and I just weaned off them slowly. And that's what I've been trying to do with my hydromorphone and the fentanyl. I've been trying to wean off the fentanyl slowly and integrate my hydros into it more. But essentially, I don't want to take anything. Like, I just want them to fix me. I'm having problems with the healthcare system.
So do you think this law then today is going to take away some of that stigma so that you
I
can
hope
get the
so.
help?
It's the stigma that needs to be taken away. It's so hurtful like that. Now all I want to do is help. I want to go back to school to be a poverty law advocate. All I want to do is change this whole situation. Needs to change. Like, I want to go into the hospital and have them one-stop shop. Like, I lost my teeth in a year and a half, and I don't do side or like other besides smoking pot and fentanyl. I don't do any other drugs that would really make me lose my teeth. And I want to get better so I can help people and so that I can have a life.
And I hope to see the day that you become a poverty law advocate. Okay.
Even to just be able to help people, period, a peer worker or something in the meantime, you know.
Take care, Carrie.
You too.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? Carrie's story is still sitting really deeply with me. We come down here to talk to people about drug decriminalization. The idea that a small amount of drug is now no longer illegal, and how it's supposed to be a step in the right direction. And you come and hear a story like Carrie's, and you just understand how deep the issues are and how small a tiny fragment of a step in all of the problems that she's facing and the obstacles and how daunting the challenges ahead to help people like her to be out of this. So yeah, that's what I'm sitting with right now, and it's just, I really feel for her. I really feel for her, and she wants to get out so desperately. I don't know. It's a long way. It's a long way. So we obviously heard a lot of frustration down here, people facing a multitude of challenges. Among their top concerns, as we heard, was housing. But also in there is this interaction with police, and there has been a lot of it here on the downtown east side. But interestingly, they are the ones that are very much in support of this new law. We spoke with Abbotsford's police chief. It's a huge shift for them. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I mean, ever since I've been a police officer, 33 plus years, we have criminalized simple possession of drugs. And, to shift to a completely, medical health related process or model is a big shift. And, I think it's something that we've been really slowly preparing for the last, 3 to 5 years, where we've started to make a shift, de facto decriminalization and moving to a model that's more health based. But, this will be a significant change.
Is it a change you support?
It is. Myself, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, the BC Association, we all support moving to a health-based model. I mean, we've said over years, we will not be able to, ever get rid of the supply of drugs that are hitting our communities. But what we have to do is focus on individuals and focus on the demand for drugs. And really, it's going to take time. Building the health model and the health system will, we know is not overnight. But over time, destigmatizing, having individuals who can access resources, health resources, 24/7, 365, is really going to be the long-term solution to trying to find people the support they need.
So Chief Mike Sir there, cautiously optimistic about what's ahead. Clearly no one thinks that this is going to be the silver bullet that's going to solve the drug crisis. But at a minimum, we should see fewer people getting into trouble because of drug use.